Okay, so I've been in the mood for making soap. That is one of my things that I do. Okay, so in the spirit of don't work yourself, work people, um, one of my favorite soaps, and I like using. I always use like the highest quality oils that I can find, and basically, soap is saponified oils. So, um, what's left is just a byproduct of oil or fat. Um, so I don't know why I'm thinking about castor oil. Like I'm thinking about it's a certain type of soap. It starts with a C. I can't think of it. I can't think of it. Anyway, so it starts with a C, but it's just a word for olive oil soap, and there's no other oils other than olive oil. Um, what I do is go to the store, the grocery store, and I purchase the largest bottle, usually about a gallon, of olive oil. And I make sure it's the highest quality oil, and that usually means it costs the most. It's the most expensive olive oil on the shelf at the grocery store. And this is my local grocery store. I shouldn't have said that, but anyway. And I order lye, which is okay. So lye is like caustic soda, and it saponifies the oils. It turns oil into soap. And so I usually buy that, and it's in powder form. I buy it and I get it off the internet. And I buy a big bag of it. And then I go home and put and also the olive oil. I always buy like the olive oil that has the most concentrated smell to it. It smells like really strong of olives. And so I go home and I get a crock pot and I put measured amounts of oil, and I make lye water. And this is where things get kind of potentially dangerous. But if you're careful and you follow the directions, you will be okay. If you have pets or anything that could, knock something over, or, and it's best to do this outside. Just make sure that nobody is around that isn't careful, so nothing can be knocked over. And so I add water to the lye, and that's lye water, and I put it in now you have to do it a certain way. You have to add, I can't remember. I think you have to add water to the lye. Anyway, if you do it the wrong way, it might cause an explosion if you add the wrong one first. Okay. And so I put it in the, what do you call it? The crock pot. And it gets hot on its own. It starts to get very, very hot. Just the chemical reaction of the water and the lye together. And then I add the oil, the olive oil, and I cook it. And I cook it until all of the lye is out of it. And so that might be maybe on low or medium for an hour or so. And this is what you call hot process soap. It's the quickest way to make bar soap because you boil or you cook all of the lye out of Castile soap. That's what, okay, so yeah, olive oil soap is Castile soap. Okay, so you cook all the lye out of the soap in the crock pot, and you mix it and you mix it, and when it's ready, it's thickened up, it's turned, it went from like a clear kind of green color because of the oil to a color of soap, like a light white, tan, off-white color. And it gets thick, and you mix it, and then so you have your molds ready. I have purchased molds, and also I have which are just different ready-made shapes that you pour the soap into. And I've also used a lined box, like a box that is long, maybe the shape of a loaf of bread, a cardboard box, and I line it with foil or something like that. And I pour the hot soap into the molds, and one step, just to make sure that there's no lye in the soap anymore, is you can take your finger and kind of put it on take your finger, dip it in the, kind of touch the soap in the crock pot and put it to your tongue, and it will taste, if there's no lye in it, it tastes just like soap. If there is lye in it, it's a taste that's similar to putting your tongue on a battery. It stings. It's caustic. You know what I mean? And so if it doesn't taste only like soap, you cook it longer. And when it's ready, then you put it in the molds. And the ready-made molds, I just pour it in the molds. And I pop them out when they're dry. When they're cooled off. When they cool off, they harden up and it's ready to use. The box of the homemade molds, the handmade mold that I made of the box, the lined box, I put it in, pour it in the box, and then when it dries and cools off, I take it out of the box, and it's just like a long rectangle, and I have a soap cutter, and the soap cutter kind of looks like, I don't know what you call it, like, it's also it looks like a kitchen utensil that has a handle on the top of it and like a long square blade, maybe like a cake cutter. I'm not sure what the utensil is called or what it's for, but it looks like that. And the one that I have is has ridges in it, so I am able to cut the soap to my desired thickness, and the soap will have that little it will have ridges in them for, like, kind of make it a little fancy, I guess. And then the soap is ready, and you use it for bathing, you use it on your face, you can use it as a shampoo bar. And that's how I make hot process soap. There are, if I was to add anything, I would add it after saponification. And like I would add, after it's turned into soap in the crock pot, I would mix in honey, maybe, or colloidal oatmeal, or what's another additive? Maybe loofah or something like that. But I would take it out and probably place the loofahs inside the molds, kind of, I think. I don't know. I haven't done loofah before. And I have a quick story. I've never sold it. I'm thinking about it. So anyway, what I sold was other types. I sold other things, but I haven't sold any bar soap, I don't think. But that was my favorite. Like, bar soap is just really, I really love doing it. So the end product is white, slightly greenish tint, kind of. It smells like olive oil. And it's just a basic, very natural soap with no, other unnecessary additives. There is a way to make soap that's called cold process soap. And you utilize the hot lye water and just kind of start the saponification process with adding the oil and mixing it together. And before the process is done, because it's not being cooked out, it's just using the heat from the lye water. You take the soap out and put it in the molds, and then you would have to, when the soap is cooled and hardened, you'd have to place the soap on preferably like wire racks, or racks where air could flow through. And they call that curing the soap. And sometimes it takes months for all of the lye to get out of the soap and for the oils to completely saponify. The benefit of that, I think it's a harder soap. It lasts longer. There are things you can add beeswax to hot processed soap to make it harder or last a little longer. Anyway, so that's it. I've never done cold process. I'm not interested in it. It's just too long of a wait. Like, I don't know. But I have been learning about patience, and that has been feeling good because I'm not worried about things all the time. But anyway, that's my soap story.